Good evening. I hope everyone is doing well tonight. I'm so excited to be here on this Thursday, and it may be day three, day four for you on the challenge. It's really a self guided challenge, but I'm wanting to be here to help you with any questions that you have and try to make your life a little bit easier because I know that making these habit changes is not easy. And that's why I'm here to help you. All right. So I'm going to go over the email for day three. I did the one for day two yesterday. Let me pull that up and I'm going to go over that for you. And I'm going to also introduce myself. I don't know why I don't do that right at the beginning, but it's all good. I am Sabrina Mills, and my business that I own is Your Authentic Self LLC. And I have not always been into health and wellness. I actually was a partaker of junk food and processed foods for several years. And I had to also suffer the consequences of those choices. So I have overcome, um, ooh, let's see, hypertension, lymphedema, what else? Oh boy, plantar fasciitis, which is extreme foot pain, and just a whole lot of I mean, it's just as simple as acne, um, just lots of different things. So I know how eating processed food as your main source of nutrition, how it can just wreak havoc on your body, and especially when you get older. So it. I'm. I know how that can just change your life if you can somehow make it out the woods. You do the 5 day real food challenge, and somehow you can make it to the other side. You just have to do baby steps. You got to start somewhere, and it's you're not going to be perfect, so don't worry about that. I mean, look at me. I'm doing day 3. I'm going to go over day 3 with you, and this is Thursday. So that's what I was telling you yesterday is how you need to pick the day to start. And part really the starting is to we said to get the guide from the back of the to get the planner from the back of the guide. You want to print that out, and then you can plan what you're going to eat for that 5 days, and then you'll do the grocery shopping for the 5 days. And these days, you don't even have to set foot in the grocery store and go through seeing your favorite foods that will get you in trouble. You can actually make your list at home and order your groceries and pull right up, and they'll load them in the car. So there are some easier ways, in 2023. So but don't be hard on yourself. Go ahead and make your grocery list. Today is Thursday. If you haven't started, maybe you plan on starting Monday because it might take you a couple of days to prepare your household for that. So you may need to get rid of some things that, you know, those snack foods that you might go to as soon as you get home, or the snack foods you have stashed away in your glove compartment in the car, that those snack foods you have in your desk. Walking by the vending machine, you may need to walk a different way. You may need to drive home a different way. So it might take you a couple of days to strategize how you're going to make it through and navigate to 5 days of real food. But I know if you plan, and I'm here, you have a resource. If you need help, you have some questions, I'm here for you. But I know that when you finish 5 days, you're going to be so proud of yourself and you're going to feel better. And you may have a benefit, a health benefit after 5 days. Who knows? It's worth a try. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get into this email. Um, when you do the 5 day food real food challenge, you go ahead and go to the website that's rolling across the screen at the bottom, right below me, and then a lot is going to happen all at once. You're going to get the guide. You're going to have access to the guide that I'm going to be showing you, and then you're going to receive a welcome email, and then you'll start receiving one every day. So it's just, you're going to take it slow day by day and not be stressed out. And yeah, all of that will come, everything pretty much starts from your email. And then here we have this wonderful group to help support you in this challenge. So even though I'm kind of running it like, we're doing the challenge this week, it's every day can be a challenge in the beginning. The first month can be a challenge. So I am here for you, and I'm here to help make it easier. And we're looking for sustainable, long term, um, being healthy. We want all the pain to go away, and the whatever is going on with you that you don't like, we want that to go away. So let's go ahead and get into this email, and then I'm going to share with you the guide and see if there's something here that is linked to this email. We found on day one there was a reference to the guide in the email. So I'm going to go ahead and start it. So it says, welcome to day 3 of your 5 day real food challenge. What if I told you that there's a huge multi-billion-dollar manufacturing industry that's spitting out products that are linked with type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, obesity, and even some forms of cancer? What? Yes. And that those products take advantage of your body's survival instincts, making you crave them, especially if you're feeling tired or stressed. That sounds familiar. I've been through that. Yes. Plus, you probably seen ads and images of those products numerous times a day. Yes, I'm talking about ultra processed foods, chips, cookies, frozen dinners, soda, fast food, etc. I like to keep things positive. So let's talk about how positively unhelpful these sneaky foods can be for your health and your goals. They've been stripped of their nutrients and are pumped full of sugars, unhealthy fats, excess sodium, and engineered ingredients. They contain very little nutrition for their high number of calories. They can leave you feeling blah and bloated after you eat them. They can crowd out your diet so you don't have enough healthy whole foods. Now, don't get me wrong, I crave these foods sometimes too, but I also find that getting fired up about how tricky these foods can be makes me think twice about caving in. It's time to take back control by focusing on whole, real foods. So, your day 3 action items: make sure your meals and snacks for tomorrow are planned and prepped. Post over in the Facebook group about any takeaways or ideas or struggles that you're having. So that was pretty easy. It's not too much to deal with on a day 3. Now let's take a look at our guide. We looked at the breakfast, lunch, and dinner suggestions, and there was 3 great recipes there yesterday. So I want us to now today I'm going to show you today the cell phone version of the guide. Let me make this larger here. All right, so we're going to take a look at that. All right, so of course it's going to still be bigger than your cell phone, but I want you to be able to see it. All right, so on your cell phone, when you have the guide, you have an index. I went click too fast. Yes, you have this index where you can see the different This is a trick. I'm using a trackball, so it's old school. So it's having a little struggle scrolling. But yes. So you see what we covered yesterday there. It has, I'm going to, let me put this on the iPad one. I just want you to see it clear because it's going to be tiny, especially if you're on your phone watching this. Yeah, that's way better. So this is still similar. All right. So yesterday we were on real food breakfast ideas, real food lunch ideas, and real food dinner ideas. And also we saw the snacks. And so let's take a look at some of these other parts of the guide today. Okay. So let me scroll down. All right. I'm going to go to the desktop so I don't have to battle with all this weird stuff going on here. All right. So I'm going to have to double check this because it looks like it's hard to read. I'm going to have to fix that for you. But it's saying it's not about working harder, it's about doing what works for you. So this is some good information here. I don't know if I adjusted this. Let me reload this page here. See, this is live. You reset it. Good old internet. Now it's tiny. All right, here we go. All right, let me see if I can get to that page for you. Yeah, it's something strange with that page because all the other pages yesterday were working good. So I don't know what's going on with this page, but I will definitely fix it for you so you can read it better. I'm going to go to the next page. And don't forget, you can, yeah, it's just that page. I'll fix that. I don't know what's going on with that page. But don't be afraid to that box that pops up. You can just click that and it'll let you go to the next page and you still can go back and access everything in the guide. You should be able to access it even though you mark it as complete. You're just marking it as complete so you know where you are when you go to open it back up. And then you also have this letting you know where you are. All right, so healthy from the inside out. And there's some different things, and it's mainly focusing on health goals. So that's good that you're going to start thinking about that because you remember you're invited to a free strategy session with me, and we're going to discuss your health goals, and so we can come up with a good plan to help you get to actually reach your health goals. So that is good for you to start thinking about that. All right, and I'm going to go to the next place. All right. So, yes. So this is leading you to the next steps and how to um just a kind of an overview of the programs that I offer, and that way you can actually know kind of have an idea before we have our strategy session, what kind of programs I offer and what you like best out of those choices. And it also features the group that we're in. Did you see that? I'm sure you did. And you've already printed this out. So basically, it's pretty easy and straightforward to get started on the 5-day real food challenge. And I'm going to even make it easier for you. This is what I'm going to do for you. Tomorrow, because I promised I was doing 5 days, right? So if you started on Monday, then you're on day 5 tomorrow, right? If you started on another day, then you may not be on day 5 yet. But this is what I want to do for you. I want to tomorrow work with you in filling out the meal planner. So we're going to do a special session tomorrow where I'm going to go with you step by step and help you the easy way to strategize and come up with your meals and make your grocery list at the same time. And in this day and age, we don't want to buy too many groceries and waste something, that's for sure. And we want to keep it easy. You have a busy life. You want to cook some foods that your family's going to enjoy. So, I'm going to that's what we're going to take on tomorrow. So tomorrow, and I'll make a note in the group. Tomorrow I want you to go ahead and print out your meal planner. Even if you did it this week and you're on track and you're almost finished with your 5 days. Woo woo. That's so great. But it's you're going to need to do next week. And it might be simple as, let's pretend that let's say you had a great Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, but maybe Tuesday and Friday wasn't that great. You can, if you liked what you ate on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and that's what you want to schedule for next week, maybe you just want to change it up. Maybe you want to eat it on a different day. I highly recommend that if you had a successful meal, maybe you had great breakfasts, but your lunches you were a little bit too hungry, and then you were trying to snack you had to pull over on your way home because you didn't get enough lunch or something like that. So all of those things are going to be helpful for you to have that, for you to think about the week that you had in planning next week. And that's why you want to go ahead on day 5 to start planning again for next week. And I really do believe in the 5 day because I do relax a little bit on the weekends because this is life and we don't want you going like right now people is what they have in the final four or something, and some people, or the basketball finals. I think it's not Final Four, but the basketball finals. And some of you might be socializing, going and hanging out over somebody's house or something like that. And maybe there's going to be something Saturday. So you, you are still wanting to gravitate towards some maybe what you want to do to still kind of stick with what you're doing here, because this is great stuff, is you want to do Saturday morning something that's real food. Saturday lunchtime, something light that's real food. If you know that you're going to go hang out dinner time somewhere and eat something that's not part of the real food challenge. Okay. So that's just, showing you how in your weekends, I would say maybe do 2 meals that you really, maybe you're a breakfast person. Maybe you're going to go hang out with your folks at the IHOP or something. I'm just giving an example. So you had that breakfast brunch Saturday morning or Sunday after church or something like that. Then you want to go real food and lighter for lunch and dinner. And I probably wouldn't even do a snack if you had a whole lot of food to eat. So that's just showing you how you can practically, you can be practical and put it in your plan it out and not have a disaster on your hands. And by you doing your plan, think about this, by you doing your planning on Friday, you already are setting yourself up for success on Monday, because that old fashioned diet mentality, oh, I'm going to start on Monday. See, you didn't start on Monday, you started on Friday, and that's great because you already are going to have your groceries and you're going to know what you're going to be eating on Monday morning for breakfast and all of that. And I always find some of you do work at home, and I'm gonna give you a tip about that because I'm a teacher and I ended up working at home for a little bit when we first had that pandemic. So, how you can manage working at home, and you, let's say that this, what you're planning for your 5 days, that's your goal and you really want to stick to that. Why not, if you have a lunch bag that you use for work, why not just pack, it sounds wild, but why not just pack your lunch and your snack and your, you know, and have it where all of your food, or have it in the refrigerator where what you're eating for the day. They have these containers at Amazon that I use for, like, you can put your fruit in those they're like clear plastic containers. Let me make a note. I'm going to put it in the group so you can see what I'm talking about. But you could actually put all the food that you're going to eat for your day in, with you working at home, in this plastic container, and you just focus on that, where you're not going to be eating anything in the pantry, anything in the refrigerator that's outside of that plastic container. You're going to stick with the food that you plan for the day. And I think having those boundaries is going to help you, because I did that myself. Well, I did it a step better. I happen to have a little small fridge in the downstairs. I found a place in my house where it's less tempting. The kitchen's not as accessible. And so by me, actually, I had to teach on Zoom, right? So by me teaching on Zoom away from the kitchen, that was a better place for me. And you may have your you may not have that ability to do it that way. But if you have some kind of strategy, some kind of idea on how you can avoid the pitfalls of getting caught up grazing in the kitchen, no plan, just eating when you think you feel hungry. And it's real food, it's real food. Well, you can also have, you can gain more weight eating too much real food too. You have to be careful. So, yeah, so I'm going to also offer you a link where I got those plastic containers for that go in the refrigerator, and they're great. They're not just exclusive to the refrigerator. You could also have one. They come in a set, so you could have use it as your way of planning out your food, and have the snacks that go on the counter. They don't, not everything goes in the refrigerator, so you could have those snacks in there as well. So you basically proportion out your whole day, and it'll keep you from deviating from your plan. And but the easy way for 5 days of real eating and to stay out of trouble is to have a nice big lunch box. Those of you that work away from home, is to take all your food that you're supposed to have all the way through. I usually do breakfast, lunch, and an afternoon snack at my job. So I take all that with me and have it, so that way I'm all taken care of. And I force myself to get at least half of my water in during my work day. So that way I only have to get the other half when I get home. And if I'm lucky, I might even get a little bit more. So it's less to get when I get home. And usually, sometimes I don't know why I get sleepy, like on the drive home. I don't know if it's because it's warm outside or what. So I have that a little extra ice water with me when I'm riding along, so that kind of keeps me awake and alert. So yeah, it's just basically, that old fashioned saying, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So if you have everything planned out and you take advantage of being somewhere for 8 hours, you know, that's a major help. I don't like I think I know I've lost more weight when I'm at work, when I've been at work, than I have during the summer, because it's not as structured and everything. So, yep. So we're going to get together tomorrow. You're going to have everything planned out. Let me make a note too, to have a list to remind you. Tomorrow you're going to need to have your meal planner printed. Okay. And you're going to need to have, of course, a pen or pencil. All right. And it wouldn't even hurt if you want to make it easy. If you know you're going to do pickup at a certain store, then you just have your cell phone. Now, if you're watching me on the cell phone, you don't have another computer or something, then you probably going to have to do it, just rough draft it and then order the stuff later. But if you have if you're watching me on the computer tomorrow and you have your cell phone there, you could go through and find the stuff on your list that you're putting together and put it all in your shopping cart. And then you could do your transaction when we after we close so you can focus and not buy something that you shouldn't be buying or spend too much money. But yeah, and then you might want to also before you get on the call tomorrow, you might want to check your refrigerator and pantry and stuff because you may if you've already done this for the week, then you already have some real food in your home and you want to definitely utilize that. Like I have some baked chicken right now in my refrigerator. So I need to well, it won't be for next week, but I'm just giving an example. Like I have some baked chicken in there right now. So I definitely would be using the baked chicken tomorrow so I don't end up, wasting food and throwing it away. So, all right. So you tomorrow meal planner printed, pen or pencil, and your cell phone. Okay. So I'm going to work with you and we're going to get your 5 days, your next 5 days or your first 5 days. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Don't beat up on yourself. And these emails are forever in your mailbox. So let's say you did day 1, 2 and you had a busy week and you just blew it. You can't blow it. So you can just meal plan with me tomorrow and we will be on day 1 on Monday. And then over the weekend, you know, don't overeat. Don't be acting like I'm never going to have this again. You're going to have some processed food here and there. You're going to have, your favorite thing, whatever it is, but you're doing this to get healthier. So, you know, don't don't make a big deal about it. It's fine. You're just taking care of yourself and that's what you should be doing. All right. So I'm just going to see if I have any questions that were put in the group. Make sure before I go, because I'm going to get ready to go because it's been 30 minutes. Hello, Sheila. Thank you so much for being so supportive. It means so much. Okay, I don't see any questions in here today. I want to remind you if you're dealing, you are going to have some as you're transitioning off of junk food, as the email was talking about, you are going to have some cravings and maybe it's even possible some people have headaches. If you're a big soda drinker, sometimes people who drink sodas every day, they end up with headaches. So just go to bed early and drink lots of water and just do your best to try to fight your way through it. I had this book. I don't even remember the title, but there was there was this book that was talking about even it was about junk food industry and it was focusing specifically on the soft drink industry. And they were sharing how the person who wrote the book, they got invited to this meeting and they met with the soft drink presidents, CEOs, and not one of them had a soft drink at the meeting. They were all drinking water. I thought that was really interesting. And They were just talking about how much is put into developing just a new soft drink, and like the graphic arts and all of that. Like it really is not even like food, and it's a bunch of marketing and all kinds of stuff, that psychology and everything that they're using to get you and keep you. So that shows us, if they're making a big deal to make the packaging look a certain way and all of that, that shows you how, if you just don't even have that, that's going to trigger you. Like they're purposely, that sounds horrible, but that's what they're doing when they do research on colors and they find just the right shade for the wrapper and just the right letters to put on the can or the bottle. That's terrible. So if you don't have that in your house, that you don't have that to look at, that's going to help you. And that leads me to think about television. Like I know during this basketball games or any sports thing you're watching, that's a big thing, is they pay a fortune to feature, to sponsor it with, like you'll see soft drinks all along the sidelines, on the like they'll have the some tables on the side court, and they'll have these like tablecloths or whatever, these drapes that have the soft drink companies, so hey, on those commercials, you might want to kind of get away from the television, and maybe you can go print out your planner during the commercials and stuff, and work on, but you be strategic. So because right now it's harder to get started when you don't have any days in, but like when you're on day 100, then you're gonna feel so good about how far you've come that you don't want to mess things up. So it you just have to know about some of these tricks. And I honestly, I don't watch a lot of even now thinking about it. I don't watch CNN. Like CNN is playing and it's watching me, and I just kind of have it on to keep me company, and I'm doing other things. So, and they don't have a lot of food commercials on there. But I remember watching, if I watched reruns of sitcoms and things like that, Dinner Hour, oh my goodness. They have like pizza commercials. They have um like Applebee's, they're the worst. They have like, they make sure the hot food is smoking, and they have it so close, like you could just touch the food item, like you feel like you could. And nowadays with this high fidelity television, it's ridiculous how it really, they want to have you savoring, have your taste buds, like your mouth watering to eat the food. And then they have to throw in there at the end how they have delivery service or something like that. It's so wild. So if you know that, like before you sit down to watch a game, or that, now that you're learning about this, then maybe, you'll have a way that you can avoid that. So it's like, I would say avoid the commercials or look down. Maybe there's something you can be doing, a crossword puzzle or something, I don't know. Or your phone, you can maybe check your emails or empty the junk mail out of your email box when it's on, because you can hear, I think it's going to be less triggering. You hear the little Applebee's theme or something, you're like, oh, I know it's something on the screen right now, I don't need to be looking at. So just try to find ways around staying out of trouble, because nobody's made out of steel. I mean, it's difficult where if you are going to watch the commercials, and then you have people at work. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about what do you do when you have been eating with the lunch buddies, like you do that all the time, like almost every day, and then you really want to choose to eat better. You don't want to, and then you're like, well, what am I going to say and how am I going to handle that? Well, probably I wouldn't wait till lunch to let them know, that you're doing this real food challenge, you don't even have to tell them that much. I would suggest the least you say, the better. Just tell them that you're really concerned about your health and that you're making some changes, and it's nothing personal, like you really enjoy hanging out with them, but you're going to need to um you probably won't be like, let's say they order out and then you're always part of the order, and maybe that kind of thing. So just let them know it's nothing personal, but I'm really concerned about my health and I need to make some changes immediately if I want to live the quality of life that I really want to live. I really need to work on that. And and leave it at that. And if they don't understand, that's not your friend. Just know that's not your friend if they don't understand. And so, like, it's strange. Like, people don't have a connection of what you're eating with how it comes out, and it's like the habits. The whole thing behind this is, as you adopt habits little by little, you'll see a change. So, really, your how your health is directly affected by your choices. So we're just going to work on some choices. And the good news is that real food, you don't get hungry quick with real food. That's great news. So you won't be walking around starving like you just ate some air or something. With real food, that you can use spices and different things. And also, there are, the fat is not stripped out of the food. Like, you can still have a certain amount of fat and you won't gain weight, you'll lose weight. And you can still have some healthy carbohydrates and you won't gain weight as well. So that's going to also be sustainable, because those are the kind of things where you can like, I really didn't even realize I really like sweet potatoes. I really like them actually better than I like white potatoes, maybe because I had so many white potatoes in my lifetime. So it is meaningful to me. Like, I really enjoy when I sit down and I have half of a sweet potato, and knowing that it is good for me, knowing that it's a great source of fiber and vitamin A for my eyesight and all of that. And so I don't have any guilt about it. And I've never gained any weight eating a sweet potato. So, I think it's a mindset shift. And we're gonna talk about these things. I'm gonna be meeting with you regularly here on YS 360, and we'll have different topics and different. Some of you that been here for a while, you see that I have a food of the week. I didn't do any of that this week because we're really focusing on our challenge. But when we come back next week, we'll again resume having the food of the week. We'll have just a small challenge on Monday, and so we can get into that. And if you have any questions, and I usually provide a recipe for our food of the week too. So if you've been hanging out with me for a while, you should be collecting quite a few recipes, and it's they're just healthy whole foods. It's usually 5 main items. There's not this recipe with like 10 things and you got to go to some exotic grocery store. It's just real food and easy prep. And I'm going to even very soon have create some meals in front of you and show you the some shortcuts and things. So I am so glad that you came out tonight. And let me just double check before I sign off. And hello, Phyllis. Thank you so much for coming out. That means a lot too. Nice to see you. And we're going to definitely have to have you as a guest. Phyllis Weaver, she's a friend of mine. She's on here, and her specialty is helping people with diabetes. And she's really excellent with that. If you have diabetes, it's a little bit more challenging, but she knows that very well, and she can help you. So we have lots to look forward to. And, just remember summer is around the corner, and we want you to be able to get those items that are in the back of your closet that you love, that you want to wear. Is still a chance to be able to wear them for the summer. So I'll remind you, like I said last night, that there's only one you, and don't be hard on yourself. Give yourself grace, give yourself mercy. And, you have to love yourself. And there's so many things in life to enjoy. And we want you to enjoy those things in your best health. We want you to have your best health and be well, and not have to worry about taking a bunch of medications and things. We want you to have so many possibilities that you're like, what am I going to do this weekend? I might go walking on the trails. I might do some I might go play golf. I might, you might have a whole range of possibilities with your healthy body, as you won't be worrying about standing for 6, 7 hours. It won't hurt. There will be no pain. You'll have all the possibilities. You might want to take your grandkids to amusement park, and that's not going to be a problem if there's nowhere to sit, because you don't need to sit down, because you're healthy and you feel good, and you're enjoying even going on the ride. So that's the kind of life that I want you to have, to enjoy those, to do it's just like a out of the box. Think the impossible, of like what's not possible now if you have certain pains and things that are limiting you. I went through that, and now it's just amazing to stand all day and still have energy when I come home to stand and cook, or still have energy to go walking or something after I've been standing all day. So I am I'm going to sign off, and it has been great, and thank you, and you have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow. I will list your supplies, and we will do that planning together tomorrow. So I'm going to sign off now. Have a great night. Bye bye.